So I'm gonna do some watercolor drawing and practice exercises. I'm gonna also do some writing and editing, so y'all won't hear some typing. I'm also gonna do some studying. I'm gonna study some literary books and get some writing done today. You know, when you do something too much too often, you start to feel like you start to feel overwhelmed by it. So I took a brief break from writing with a word count. I took a break. So what I plan to do is just do some editing for maybe about 2 hours of editing only, and then I'll write something new. But what I'm doing right now is just creating some uh, paper here, scraps for my watercolor practices. I plan to actually put these in a notebook journal of some kind so I can keep track of my growth. So we're going to look back on some of the things that I've done over the past few days. So this is my first time trying a tree with the dry brush. I feel like I'm getting better at doing the bark. And then these is what I did yesterday, just using this video that was on YouTube. I'm going to be doing this again. Like letting the work be incomplete with the white space, letting the white space be there, just some random strokes. And this is something I was experimenting with yesterday. Okay, just looking at it. I'm actually going to be using the back of some of these since they're just practice exercises. I don't see the point. I don't see the point in not using the back. I can use the back since they're just practices. You know, why waste paper? I'm not going to waste paper because it's too expensive. So I may have to go upstairs and get some of my brown paint because I'm out of it in this one. I'm running out of brown paint, but I got some more upstairs. Enjoy the sounds. Some of y'all just come for the sounds, and that's okay. So here's the painting. See, I'm out of the brown. The brown's running out. So I'm gonna go get some more. I got my little Sharpie here. I'm gonna sip on my V8 juice while I enjoy myself. Now I like to document my videos so that I can see what I did and do it again if I ever want to. So I have this. I wonder what keep happening with my brushes. These ones here, these ones here. So these are the brushes I'm going to be using. I do need to get some more watercolor brushes. Let me just get some water. I like doing this live because then I can record the video and I can go back and doing it. I can look at the video and see my mistakes or see where I started to struggle, and then I could just kind of fix the problem here. Okay. This is driving me crazy with this. So I'm gonna have to load up the paints first because the room is struggling here. The table is not as big as I thought it was. All right, I do have some water. Y'all can listen to the sounds. I got a Sharpie here. I got a little Sharpie. Got some brushes, and I got two containers of water. And then I have my phone here, which I'm going to use to look up some exercises, but also look up some books. I downloaded some books, so we're gonna look at them. So I'm trying to see which ones will bring me joy if I try them. Ooh, that watercolor project looks difficult. So I'm looking at some things I want to try. Somebody got a whole landscape they're doing here. Let's see these trees.
Wet and wet, a shallow slide here on the right.
So he drew his tree first.
The brush wheel.
Imagine sitting on the beach on your dream vacation, get an email and find out your bank account has
Again, keeping the brush.
Let's see, where's it painting snow trees?
Now, as promised, the dry brush technique, and this is all about how you hold your brush. Finger and thumb with the number 12 brush under your hand. Now keep it flat to the paper and just kiss the top of the paper. Now you must have cold press or rough paper to get this effect. Now dropping in with a conventional stroke, some wet paint.
Okay, that's why it didn't work. I need cold pressed paper.
Off brush stroke. So for this next demonstration, I've had several people ask me about how to paint palm trees.
I'm not interested in the palm trees.
Okay, for this final demonstration, we're going to have a bit of fun and move into the realms of semi-abstract for this forest of autumn silver birch. Start by wetting your paper with clean water, a few vertical washes. Then just chuck in a load of warm colours in vertical stripes. Browns, reds, oranges, greens, it doesn't matter. But just try and mix up the washes with stronger and weaker water paint ratios. In wet areas, the card scores the paper and gives you this much darker tone.
What is he using? Woo! Oh, he's using an old credit card or something there. Oh, that looks fun. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do what he did. I'm gonna try this fun little exercise, y'all.
Okay, for this final demonstration, we're gonna have a bit of fun and move into the realms of semi-abstract for this forest of autumn silver birch. Start by wetting your paper with clean water, a few vertical washes. Then just chuck in a load of warm colours in vertical stripes. Browns, reds, oranges.
I gotta get me an old card.
Just try and mix up the washes with stronger and weaker water paint ratios. Next, with my trusty AA card, other breakdown surfaces are available.
I'm going to use this one.
Lay the card flat and then push down hard and drag the wash slightly.
What colors does he say again?
Now with just a few dark shadow details.
Okay, so let's get it. I got my card here.
For this final demonstration, we're going to have a bit of fun and move into the realms of semi-abstract for this forest of autumn silver birch. Start by wetting your paper with clean water, a few vertical washes. Then just chuck in a load of warm colours in vertical stripes. Browns, reds, oranges, greens, it doesn't matter. But
brown, reds, oranges, greens. See, this seems like fun, y'all. I'm excited. Browns, oranges, greens. Mm. There's a red. This is so relaxing. It's unbelievable. I didn't realize how relaxing this could be. Okay, so what he say next? He said a couple of colors here.
just try and mix up the washes with stronger and weaker water paint ratios.
Okay, yeah, he needed stronger.
Other breakdown surfaces are available. I lay the card flat and then push down hard and drag the wash slightly to the right. As you can see, it takes the paint with it and gives us a shadow to the right hand side, leaving the odd line. It's a great
Is he
effect
dipping his
brings out the
brush?
texture in the paper.
He said it has to be some dark.
And try and put in a few narrower ones in the gaps between the trees. And in some of the wetter areas, you can see it reacts totally differently, giving you a much darker value. And I'm even dragging the paint up outside the area of the original.
Because I didn't make it dark. He said it has to be darker in some part.
Drag out some branches. And again, you can see a shadow appears on the underside.
Okay. He said it has to be some dark parts in there too. That's what he said. So I probably should have not loaded the water so heavy, but I'm new at this. That's what he said. Okay. I guess it can't be so too much water. Okay, it looks like that's getting darker. So he says didn't take the
And drag the wash slightly to the right. As you can see, it takes the paint with it and gives us a shadow to the right hand side.
I don't see a
The
shadow.
odd line. It's a great effect and brings out the texture in the paper.
How much paint is he using? I don't know. He's using a lot of paint.
Ones in the gaps between the trees. And in some of the wetter areas, you can see it reacts totally differently, giving you a much darker value.
This didn't work. He's using a lot of paint.
The original
I don't
wash.
want to use that much paint.
Next, with the corner of the card, drag out some branches. And again, you can see a shadow appears on the underside.
Okay, he is losing a lot of paint. And I feel like my paper is tearing too.
What's great about this is some of the paint is nearly dry and the card will pull the paint, giving you a lighter branch. But in the wet areas, the card scores the paper and gives you this much darker tone.
How hard is he actually pressing?
And of course, no painting should be without a bit of splattering.
Yeah, he used some thick strokes. I don't want to waste that much paint. That was a nice experiment, but he's using a lot of paint. He's really heavy strokes. I don't want to waste that much paint unless I'm going to actually do it perfectly and frame it. Paint's too expensive. I just wanted to see what would happen. Okay.
Then I'm going to just pick up, to finish those off, I'm going to pick up what can I use? Should I use pen or pencil? Where are my pen? Pen. Again, links in the description below. So here we have the sketch. I'm not going to use ink, I'm just going to use paint.
She has a sketch here.
So that's dry now. Good. Now, poppy petals. Poppies only have 4 petals.
4 petals.
I'm just going to practice with this paint here to see how this goes. And this is obviously too dark because what we want is a transparent petal. So I've watered that down by adding a bit more water to the paint. And I'm just spreading that out to make a poppy petal shape. This is practice from remember. And your paper is going to be absolutely crucial to how well or badly this works. So if you do use proper watercolor paper, this is medium cold press, not hot press, so it's got some texture to it. And about 140 pounds. So having put in the first layer of paint, when you do these petals in real painting, you then drop in some richer colour at the bottom, and then you let that spread. And so we'll just do a few of those to try that out. You can, using your round brush, you can use the side of the hairs a little bit, so press it down and then
That looks good.
Wider coverage rather than just doing it in straight lines like that. And then just pick up some intense paint at the bottom and just drop that in. And you can just tap it like that with the point of the brush, and then it will all gradually bleed in. And you don't have to do any bending or anything like that. It just works. As you watch it, when you're filming yourself doing this, which you could do too, then you notice these things when you look back at the video. You see these things happening, which is perhaps not something you necessarily notice when you're just painting. You might miss that. So anyway, so there's another one, and we'll put some dark paint at the bottom, just tapping with your brush like that. Excuse me. And then to make these into overlapping petals, we'll have to wait for them to dry completely.
I love how she teaches. You can really.
Otherwise, you'll activate the paint underneath again. So this is a process which is simple, but it does require a little bit of patience. So just as an example, we'll paint another petal here with thin that and let that spread. And then we're going to put another one next to it, leaving some space between.
I'm starting to understand. So she's getting really transparent with this one. She's giving. So she did like 3 there. So maybe I might want to do yellow instead. So,
and then we can let that dry. And what I'm going to do is
I don't have the room here. I just noticed it. Well, she doesn't have the room, but she still does it.
just to show you the overlapping effect, we'll come in here and we'll just basically paint another petal, and we'll just bring that down gently and allow it to overlap, and without doing too much in the way of brush strokes, because that would activate the paint underneath that's just dried, and we wouldn't want that. So this is again just a demonstration. We'll put some little bit of darker, richer red in the bottom there. It's all the same colour, and you can see where the two overlap. You've got a darker colour there where this one and that one add together to make a darker shade. So you can see how that might be an interesting way of giving form to your painting. So let's try it down here. Let's see what happens here.
Because she said those have to dry.
So we just put big petal.
This is so soothing. It's unbelievable.
Just put right down the bottom there. And then we can, if you want, you can come in at the edge and just allow the colour to run back like that, giving a bit more shape and indentations.
I feel like I'm doing transparent and not even trying. That's what I feel like I'm doing.
Wavy.
I might have to go with.
What you can do, if you want to darken the bottom, just put the paint in like that and then drag it up like that. Let that travel again. And then if we wanted this to look like a poppy, what we're going to do next is just drop some black into the middle. This is going to grey. And then we would let that dry too. So that's basically the idea here of having the transparent petals overlapping one another. You can build that up into more of a painting. And immediately it does start to look like a poppy once you put the stem in.
And I feel like she be looking like to see if it's looking right. This is what I feel like she be doing. She's still using the same brush. Let me see here.
And of course you can emphasize that, make it stronger if you want, or you can just leave it really delicate like that. So here are the practice pieces that we were doing, where we can see the overlap of the different layers, and you can see how when you drop paint into the wet paint, it will spread like that, which is great because it gives a graduated effect without too much effort. And down here, I'm working on a project which will be coming up soon, which is going to be water lilies. So I was just working here on the idea of overlapping lots of petals like that.
I feel like this one I messed up on, this right here.
I know it's perfect, but it's working in the right direction. So watch out for that one coming up soon. And this is
maybe it needs to be a little
not
softer.
perfect poppy, but we're going to be working on that now. Not that particular one, but
I should have just stayed with this brush.
And you can
See,
get
I
this
should have
sketch
stayed with
from
that one
the website once this video
because I
goes
feel
up.
like that
It should
one,
be on the website
the
dianeandtom.com,
tip of this brush is better.
and you'll be able to
So
then
what did she do with the
duplicate
other
that.
poppies? Did she what you call what she do with the stems?
So that's
I feel like she's coloring with these brushes.
and you can get this sketch from the website once this video goes up. It should be on the website dianeandtom.com for view, and you'll be able to then do that. And looking at it, I've just realised I've made a terrible compositional mistake and put that poppy head in the wrong place. That's the seed head, and so I'm just going to correct that and put that one down here. So this is why you're not in too much of a hurry to start, because sometimes you make the silliest mistakes. So there we are. I'd also put a B there as well, and that was completely in the wrong place. So we'll move him and put him here. There we are. So there's a little bee on his way to the flower to get his nectar. Don't you like my bee, Oriole? Cat, honestly. Okay, so colours we've got here now. We've got bright red from Old Holland. We've got permanent rose from, I think that's Dana Rowney. Yes, Rowney.
Okay, they don't look bad.
Olive green.
Totally new at doing this.
I've got Payne's grey.
Okay, I enjoyed that one.
Old Holland. And I've got now.
Okay. But these are the ones she did where she drew them first. Okay.
So
I want to go back to doing the other stuff. Those where it was like there's no rules the way she did it with the the gentle creative journey. Oh, why is that hidden? 3 subs. 3 subscribers. Okay.